There's a new urban legend in my town, and I laughed about it when I first heard it. It says, don't order food delivery on Halloween. I say that it's newer, but I guess it's been there since the 80s. They say that if you order food delivery on Halloween, you never know what might come to your house. Most of the stories are about ghostly pizza delivery men, or cursed Chinese food, or something silly like that. I haven't lived here very long, but it just sounded so ridiculous that I was sure no one really believed in it. After what I saw, there's definitely something to it. I was on the phone with my friend Rachel, and we were getting ready to watch some scary movies and peg out on snacks. I had just told her that I'd see her in about 10 minutes when I remembered that I hadn't gone out to get the food that I'd planned to serve at our little get-together. The thought of going out to get it had me scrunching up my nose at the idea of dodging trick-or-treaters and tired adults who were just trying to get home. I didn't want to leave the house right now, and I decided that it might be better to order something from DoorDash instead. There was a new place in town that I wanted to try. I won't name it here, but we'll call it Daryl Waters, and they were supposed to have some really good seafood. I figured I could splurge a little on one of their shrimp boats, and that would be more than enough to feed me and Rachel through our little movie marathon. I ordered it up, and it said that Derek was on his way to get my order. I thought that was mighty nice of Derek to go to all the trouble just for my shrimp feast, and I went back to trying to find something for us to watch on Netflix. Netflix usually has a lot of Halloween movies this time of year, and by the time Rachel got there, I'd queued up a few of them that would keep us entertained, while the little gremlins outside got their candy and their treats. "So, what did you get us?" Rachel said. "Not pizza, I hope." "No, I got us something at Daryl Waters instead. Figured my bestie needed a little shrimp boat therapy after the long week we've both had." Rachel looked impressed. "Daryl Waters? You're going to spoil me. Is it in the kitchen already?" she asked, looking around like she expected to see a whole shrimp boat sitting in wait. "I got it ordered. It should be here pretty soon." Rachel bit her lip and looked a little bit surprised. "You ordered food? You know nobody orders food on Halloween. It's bad luck, and you never know what you're going to get." I waved a hand at her. "That's just superstition. I'm sure it's fine. I doubt that the ghostly delivery man works on Halloween anyway. Probably some kind of union rule against it or something." Rachel rolled her eyes. "Ha ha ha, you've got jokes, but let's see how funny you think it is when whatever is coming to deliver your food gets here." We took a seat on the couch and started flipping through potential titles. Rachel right out refused to watch Child's Play, and I told her I wasn't watching Smile for all the candy on the block. We finally settled on Scream, and as the movie started, I heard a blip come up on my phone. I looked down to find that it was my delivery guy, Derek, and he had arrived at Daryl Waters to get our food. I sent him a message back, thanking him, and turned back to the movie. We'd barely gotten past the first death when I saw a new message pop up from Derek. I took out the phone to have a look, hoping there wasn't a problem with my order, but found that Derek was a little bit confused. "Hey, it's Derek from DoorDash. Are you sure this place is open?" I checked the time and found that it was only 7:30. Daryl Waters was supposed to be open till 10 o'clock, and I told him that I was sure it was open. I saw the little bubbles come up, which meant he was typing, and he sent another message back pretty quick. "That's weird. The door was open, but the place is completely empty." I sent another message back telling him that that was weird and maybe to call out and see if there was any staff around. They might have been playing some kind of Halloween prank, but it would be weird for them to upset potential business by playing games like that. I couldn't really see a business doing something like that, but sometimes people go all in on Halloween these days. Derek was quiet for a little bit. And when I saw the bubbles come back up, which Minnie was typing something again, I got hopeful. I'm going to go check in the back. Maybe check your order and make sure that it's verified. I fiddled with the app, trying to make sure that everything was okay on their end. And when Rachel looked over at me, I looked up to find that we were already 25 minutes into the movie. Something wrong with your order? I shook my head. No, there seems to be no one there to give it to the guy who was supposed to be picking it up. I told you not to order out on Halloween, Rachel said, almost sing-songing at me. I watched a little of the movie as Derek attempted to figure out what was wrong with my order. DoorDash didn't usually take this long, so it was kind of weird that they were just all of a sudden dragging their feet like this. They were usually pretty reliable, and the place I had ordered from had kind of a reputation for excellence, at least for a restaurant that had barely been open 3 months. Seafood places around here were pretty common, but this place had really made a name for itself, and I couldn't see them pulling weird pranks and making people mad. Derek was quiet for a little bit, clearly trying to figure out what was going on. And when I saw the bubbles appear again, I breathed a sigh of relief. Hey, it's your DoorDasher again. I'm not really sure what's going on here, but it's definitely a little odd. What do you mean? I typed back. Well, the store is completely empty. There's no customers, no staff, there's nothing. The music is still playing like it's dinner rush, but there's no one to be seen at all. It's the strangest thing I've ever seen. I thought about it for a minute, trying to figure out what I could do. What do we do in this situation? I finally asked. There was silence on his end for about 5 minutes, and when the bubbles appeared again, I thought for sure that he had left and just forgotten to tell me. I can hear something in the back. That made me feel cold. What was he hearing? This was like a real-life horror story, and it was a little much for a food delivery. I didn't answer right away. Not really sure if he wanted me to answer. But eventually I asked what he heard. It's someone talking. I can hear someone talking very low in the back room. I could just picture him walking closer to the back door, his DoorDash bag under his arm and his eyes locked in place. The image was honestly scarier than the movie I was trying to concentrate on. I could hear Derek's heavy breathing as he crept towards the door to the kitchen. I could feel the clamminess of his hand as he wrapped it around the knob, gripping his red bag. And I could imagine how those hands would shake as they turned the doorknob. He would shove it open, only to find... What? What could he find in there? The dots appeared again. My curiosity was rewarded with very little. Nothing. There's no one in the kitchen either. I don't know what sort of games these guys are playing, but I don't like it at all. The kitchen's empty too? I felt foolish after I typed it. Clearly it was, but Derek was nice enough not to make mention. Yeah, it's not even like it's been left a mess either. Someone's cleaned it, and everything is exactly where it should be. It's as if they prepped for the next day, but they should still be open for another few hours. I started to tell him to get out of there, but something wanted me to see how far this went. Some part of me wanted to know what was going on, and another part of me wanted to drive down there and see exactly what was happening. I've always been a little too curious for my own good, and hearing Derek wander through a horror movie in the making was really catching my interest. More dots appeared, the silence between the dots growing longer each time. I can hear something else. What is it? I typed in before I could stop myself. It's my name. Someone's whispering my name from a room towards the back of the kitchen. Get out of there, I typed out before I could think better of it. Just cancel my order and get out of there. I don't need food that badly, and it seems like something really weird is going on. More silence. More dots. And after about 10 minutes, Derek finally came back with the last thing I had expected to hear. It sounds like my mom. Your mom? Yeah, but it can't be her. My mom died 2 years ago. It sounds like she's calling my name from the back room. I can't stop myself from going to have a look. I was halfway through typing out a message when Rachel made a comment from the couch that made me jump. I'd almost forgotten she was there. I was so wrapped up in what was going on with Derek that I had overlooked the fact that she was here to watch a movie with me on Halloween. If you called me over here so you could play on your phone, then I can go home and watch the rest of the movie there. I tried to shake off my trepidation over Derek and the whispers from the back room and decided that it might be time to bring Rachel into what was happening. It was bound to be more entertaining than the movie and seemed like a real Halloween thriller. Sorry, something's going on with our food order. The guy says he's at the restaurant and there's no one there. The place is completely empty and he can't find anybody to get food from. Rachel shrugged. That place is supposed to be open for at least another 2 or 3 hours. I can't see them shutting down early just because it's Halloween. I also can't see them leaving the door open when they know that kids are going to be out causing trouble. It's weirder than that, I told her, as I invited her over to look at the messages. He's hearing voices from the back of the restaurant, and now someone who sounds like his mom is trying to get him to come to the back of the restaurant. Rachel read over the messages, her face getting paler by the moment. I told you it was a bad idea to order food on Halloween. Everybody knows that weird stuff happens when you get deliveries on All Hallows. More dots appeared as she read over the message, and we both jumped because it was the first time that he had said anything in nearly 10 minutes. The dots went back and forth, and I began to wonder if he was ever going to finish. I'm right up against the door now. I can hear her just on the other side. I'm gonna go in. Wish me luck. I typed out a new message telling him to just leave, to run, to not go into that room, but when I hit send, the message refused to go through. I got the same little icon you get when you don't have any service, and I typed out another message and sent it again, but I got the same results. I got the same results when I did it 3 more times, too. Wherever Derek had gone, it was beyond reach. Rachel tried to talk me out of it, but I decided to get in my car and drive down to Daryl Waters and see if I could help him. She reminded me that going out to help him would probably get me stuck in the same situation, but I couldn't just let him die because I wanted some really good seafood. She suggested we call the police, but I reminded her that it was Halloween and that no one at the precinct was going to take me seriously. I asked if she wanted to come with me, and she said that she'd ride along, but she wasn't going anywhere near that restaurant. At least I'll be there to tell people what happened to you when you go missing, she said more than a little snidely. We drove down to Daryl Waters, and imagine my surprise when not only was the place open, but it was packed. The dining room was stuffed with kids and adults in costumes, and Rachel decided that it might be okay to go in with me as we sat in the parking lot and watched the waitresses stumble around in their pirate costumes, like they hadn't had a break all night. I asked the woman behind the counter about my DoorDash order, and she nodded as she pointed to the bag that was sitting at the end of the bar. Some guy named Derek was supposed to come pick it up, but it's been sitting there for a good 20 or 30 minutes. I don't know if he had an emergency or something, but he never showed up to get it. We were leaving when I got the notification, and it sent chills down my spine. It told me that my Dasher was on the way with my order. I tried messaging Derek and asking him what had happened, but he wouldn't respond. I showed it to Rachel, and she asked if there was any way we could stay somewhere else tonight. I told her I had enough money for a cheap motel, but but only the ones on the far end of town. She told me that might be best, and when I asked her why, she looked worried. If something is coming to your house after what he told you, I don't think I want to be there when it gets there. We're sitting at the motor lodge now, just waiting to see what happens, but I think I've been convinced that ordering food on Halloween isn't a good idea. You never know what's going to show up with your order. I think next year I'll just cook something instead. Good evening, everyone. It's me, Dr. Plague. Thank you so much for joining us for tonight's show. If you think you might like a little more spooky in your life, then please feel free to click on one of the videos we have up here. Maybe look at one of the playlists if you're trying to get caught up. I know, there's so many videos on the channel. There's so many series that are going at the same time. Sometimes you just need a little refresher course, and I gotta say, I always enjoy the views. If you're not subscribed, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Maybe hit the bell so you don't miss anything. We upload a lot on this channel, so you won't want to miss a single story as they come out. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click on the Amazon link down there. There's quite a few books in my Amazon account. You can have a look, and if you'd like a signed copy, get up with me through email, and I'll be happy to work something out with you. Also, there's links to my Patreon, and you can become a member on the channel if you'd like your spooky a little bit early. Patrons and members on the $5 tier get their videos 12 hours early. That's in the morning as opposed to in the evening. Patrons at the $10 level also get a signed copy of my book anytime I write one. Speaking of my patrons, you should see them appearing right now. Just wanted to take a minute to say how much I appreciate all of you. Patrons, subscribers, however you give to the channel. I really appreciate everything you do, and it truly touches me that you have chosen to support the channel in this way. Well, that's enough for now. Till next time, Dr. Plague, signing off. Have a wonderful evening.